Hello and welcome to the last video in the Genesis Edge VAV video series. My name is Charles Johnson, lead trainer and technical engineer at Lynxspring. And we're going to be talking about applying the software patch for the Edge supervisor and the VAV controllers itself. It was brought to our attention that a couple of issues arose during the integration of this whole process, and we have created a patch to help fix this. Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the resource website with a partner login that you have. And from there, we're going to go to the software section of our resource website, and we're going to go to the software downloads. Here at the very top, you see the JENEsys Edge VAV patch, what it actually pertains to, as well as the documentation for the patch itself. When you download this, it'll be in your download section or wherever you choose to download this. But the first step is you're going to go ahead and download this file. I've already done it ahead of time, and currently I have it in my user home under just the folder patch 21181, or it's the 2.0 version, or sorry, so the 2.0 version or the 2.1 version of my VAV station. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and copy this entire folder, and I'm going to go ahead and collapse that back. And in my Edge supervisor, I'm going to go ahead and right click on the file structure and paste the folder in here. Now, the next thing that we need to do is that we actually accomplish the software fix through a provisioning service. So to add a provisioning service to a station, we're going to go ahead and open up our palette sidebar, and we're going to go to the Open Palette window. And here, we're going to go to Niagara. I think it's in Niagara. It is not in Niagara. It's actually in provisioning. So provisioning Niagara is where we need to go. And here, there's the provisioning network extension. We're now going to take this provisioning network extension and drag it into our Niagara network. And we're just going to keep this, the name here. There's no point to name it here. And select OK. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and in the patch file itself, I'll go ahead and close this palette back up since we don't need it. Close here. Okay. So in this patch folder here, we have a couple things. We have the provisioning folder, PX folder, and template folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand this provisioning folder. And we can either expand this patch.bog, or we can actually just right click and copy this. And we can paste it into the networking extension here and just do paste. And when we do, it gives us these three steps here. Now, what you'll see here is in the update supervisor block here, you're going to right click, and you're going to go to options, and you're going to go to update supervisor. Now, there's no visual indication of this progress when updating the supervisor there. However, in order to update the patch for the VAV for the VAVs itself, so this actually, what this did here is that this actually created the username and password for the platform connection. And now we're going to go ahead and double click on this patch here. And you see here, it says copy patch to bog, run robot, copy all this here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this plus button, and we're going to add the VAV stations to our service here. And when we do this, we select run now. And it's going to say the view has been modified. Do we want to save the changes here? We can go ahead and just select yes. and it failed. Why did it fail? Because the unable to execute the step because the default credentials or passphrase are not present and cannot be verified. So if I go to my Niagara network and go to my provisioning manager, I can see here, but let's go ahead and go to these. Okay, well, let's go ahead and add our username and password, admin1, and select OK. admin1, admin12345, select OK. Same here, admin1, admin12345, select OK. Let's go ahead and ping these now to see. Okay, so authentication failed here, which means that I have input this incorrectly. Let's go ahead and try that again. Authentication failed, admin1. I don't understand. That this shouldn't be admin1, admin12345. It's exactly what it should be. Capital A, lowercase d, min, 12345. Why is the authentication still failed? Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and go to our Niagara network here for the provisioning manager again. And let's go ahead and check floor 2. Admin1, admin12345. Admin1, admin12345. Ooh, provisioning manager. Okay. All right, so now we've got all that there. Now, let's go ahead and try running this commissioning report again, or not commissioning report, the patch one more time. Let's go ahead and now let's hit run now, and let's see if it runs. So when you see the progress, it looked like it went from, 25 to 15. So more than likely, when you're doing some kind of provisioning service, what happens is that it'll actually combine some processes into a few steps. So it actually reduces the number of items it needs to go through. But I'm going to keep the video running because it's not going to take that much longer. And I actually like to show sometimes errors that happen, just in case something comes along like that, and the ability to troubleshoot it. So when we first saw that we had an issue with the update supervisor, for some reason, it did not put the uh, the uh, it didn't put the admin username and password in there, and I assume uh, it probably failed because of my two devices here, because they're all not the same admin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's probably why that happened. But it's good to find out that, when you create, provisioning stuff here for networks and whatnot, to always go to the provisioning manager of the Niagara network to find out what kind of error you have. So it's already copied the patch for the bog file over to the VAV and is now running a specific robot to update certain program blocks. Pretty much what this did was it was discovered in the if you set up a series fan with two-stage of electric heat, um, or SCR heat. I think it was SCR heat, not two stage, but SCR heat. What happened was it did not switch the minimum flow properly. So while it was corrected in one of the programs when we saw it, we needed to apply a patch to make sure that we could get this out to everyone should they run into this kind of issue. So it's not going to take that much longer here. And you can see the process is fairly fast. I don't think there's anything wrong with the speed itself. Obviously network things and whatnot. But so what happens is it actually is going to copy, it's actually taking this entire patch file and um, it's applying new graphics to both the supervisors and the VAVs because there were a few issues with there. And again, you can read the release notes in this to show everything about it. And it looks like we are almost done here as well. And again, I'm actually glad that that error came up, and not that it's going to come up a lot. As a matter of fact, when before I do these videos, I do a dry run beforehand to make sure it works. So this supervisor that you see is actually running on a PC that's actually sitting right next to me. So I applied the patch to it locally. And there, I had no issues, so I went to do the test run here in my video, and you can see I ran into that issue. But it's a very easily fixed issue. You won't have to do anything with the patch itself. The supervisor update again should work. However, I believe because I've mix and match controllers here, it can't actually go through each of them alone. So I think that's why the process failed there. But it normally would not fail, especially if you just have all the VAVs. However, though, we see that we have a complete success of the patch files. And again, if you need a complete list of the issues that it fixed or scenarios that it fixed, you can go ahead and read the release notes from the resource website. And that's all I have for you today as far as the applying the patch, but we can see that everything has been successful here. So once you see this, then the patch has been applied to both the VAVs and the supervisor itself. And that's all I have for you today. Have a great day.